Tonight, more questions for the Prime Minister about meddling by China in Canadian elections.
The Minister and the Prime Minister has said this, that it's Canadians that went to vote. Of course, it's Canadians that went to vote. But the fact is that we have to look at what took place before they went to vote.
Hey there, I'm Andrew Chang. Welcome to About That. Did China meddle in the last two Canadian federal elections? The answer appears to be yes.
The idea that foreign countries, and particularly China, but not exclusively China, other authoritarian regimes would seek to interfere with democratic institutions in Canada is not new.
Was the interference enough to change the results of those elections? No, says the Prime Minister, who won both. But what exactly the government is doing about the possibility of Chinese meddling, that's unclear. And the consequences of that uncertainty is what has so many lawmakers in Ottawa talking right now. Now, one way to clear the air is to hold an independent public inquiry. But the government says that's not necessary. It's already been investigating. So what do we know? Well, to begin to understand the allegations of foreign political interference, you don't actually have to go all that far back.
Multiple sources tell Global News at least 11 candidates received clandestine funding from entities affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party.
That was from last November, reporting from Global News that 11 Toronto area candidates in the 2019 federal election were allegedly supported by Beijing, specifically naming a Liberal MP, Han Dong, who won in his riding as a, quote, witting affiliate. Now, we should be absolutely clear here. CBC has not verified Global's reporting, and both Han Dong and the Prime Minister say the accusation is unfounded.
Defend his MP.
Han Dong is an outstanding member of our team, and suggestions that he is somehow not loyal to Canada should not be entertained.
But take a moment and consider what this all means, if there is any truth to what's been reported. This idea that China is trying to change the outcome of a Canadian election, that's chilling. But did it succeed? Well, according to a panel of top civil servants, national security agencies saw attempts at foreign interference, but not enough to have met the threshold of impacting electoral integrity. Translation, yes, there was interference, but no, it didn't really make a difference. Now, nothing is simple in politics. We should mention that even this finding here is contentious. The author of those words has strong ties to the Trudeau Foundation. He was its CEO for a while. And the Conservatives say that's enough to throw their whole report into question. But there's more, because the allegations of Chinese interference kept coming. Just a couple of weeks ago, in the Globe and Mail, revelations of a sophisticated Chinese strategy to influence the 2021 election. Citing leaked CSIS documents, so that's Canada's spy agency, they even had a preferred outcome, liberal minority. A Chinese diplomat in Vancouver had apparently bragged about taking down a pair of Conservative candidates, part of a social media smear campaign to tank potential MPs who were critical of China. Chinese students studying in Canada were allegedly enlisted to work as campaign volunteers. And according to the Globe, those CSIS documents found there were a string of undeclared cash donations to support Beijing's preferred candidates. Again, this is the Globe's reporting. CBC hasn't independently verified this. But if true, that's election interference. And whether or not it's true, it should be, the official opposition line of thinking goes, enough for the government to go into a full-blown democratic code red, especially if those same CSIS documents leaked to the Globe would have crossed the Prime Minister's desk first.
He knew through briefing notes that he has received and that his office has been provided, showing the massive interference in both the 2019 and 2021 elections. And what did he do about it? One thing. He appointed a panel and had a report written.
All of this has ignited a political firestorm, with a parliamentary committee this week calling on key ministers and security agencies. But ask the opposition, and they'll tell you none of this comes anywhere close to being what's needed.
Conservatives are announcing today we support an independent and public inquiry.
And worth mentioning here, leaders for both the NDP and the Bloc Québécois are also calling for an independent inquiry. The Liberals, for their part, are digging in. Justin Trudeau insists his government has already done the right thing.
This is one of those things that this government has taken more steps on than any previous government, and we will continue to take this issue extremely seriously.
So where does that leave us? Even the former head of CSIS says he can see no compelling reason not to hold a full-blown public inquiry. And with pressure on Trudeau mounting to change his tune on the matter, we may very well see this issue continue to dominate headlines and very much leave up in the air the question of just how much China meddles in Canada's affairs.